but my YouTube.
Not
Yeah,
well.
no.
Okay, we're getting
The
shadow
bell goes
banned.
off.
Is what's going on. See, the Hollywood liberal elite doesn't like what we have to say, and the ones with the power are shadow banning us. So you're not getting our notifications. I think we're gonna have to start a Patreon, simply because the government and Hollywood, because we're taking the power from them. We're telling them how shitty their movies are. Invincible Man. So they don't like it.
We can send our toenail clippings as a Patreon gift.
I don't care how many
Yeah.
millions of dollars Invisible Man made. That was a piece of shit. Elizabeth Moss might be a good actress. The movie was stupid. Like, you took an initial concept and you were like, what we're going to do is fucking butcher it. Jen and KG, hi. And that's what they did. They were like, no, he's not driven mad because he's invisible and he's losing his mind slowly. No. He's a zealous, angry lover. And he's got a camera suit. How stupid. How fucking stupid.
Yeah, the camera suit thing was awkward.
Like, the whole time, I'd be like, I'm definitely hearing camera shutters. I know you're here, dickhead. Like, you would just be sitting there. You mean to tell me you're sitting in a quiet room and you don't hear?
No, there's that one scene.
I fucking hear
It's
that.
not
I
in the
swear
movie.
to God.
But it'd be funny if there was that one scene where, like,
What the fuck was that?
you know, she's walking, the heavy breathing. Where is he? And then she stops, and you hear battery low. Bitch, I got you.
Right. Oh, fuck. I had to plug in my Tesla. Like, yeah, the movie was just dumb. Like, nothing against, like, and I even think I said that visually it was appeasing, and that made me even angrier and dislike it more, because it's like, you had the wherewithal to have good visuals, nice cinematography, decent CG, but the movie's stupid. And that's why I hate Elizabeth Moss, not Moth.
that's all.
So we're not here to talk about Mashed Potato Face OG. The other Mashed Potato Face OG is Gerard Butler. I'm not sexist. They both have mashed potato faces. Anywho, we're here to review two movies, Cocaine Bear and The Dungeons and Dragons, which I was very sad that there wasn't more Scottish accents in that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't hear one Sean Connery sounding motherfucker, and I was a little sad. I'm just saying.
It was
Everybody
weird.
had their regular accents to pretty much throughout.
Oh, so Sean Connery passed up the role of Gandalf because he didn't understand the script, which apparently is what led him to accept League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, because he told himself, like, next time I don't understand the script, I'm going to take the role. And that killed his career. That was the last movie he ever did.
Yeah.
I liked League of Extraordinary.
That was his last
Gentlemen.
one, really?
Yeah. You know what? I used to like it, and then as I got older, I was like, I like this movie, and I'd watch it and go, okay, I don't like it as much as I did. And then I'd watch
League
it.
of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'd watch it again a year later, and and then it started to. It's the same thing with Van Helsing. Like, when I was younger and I saw that in theaters, I was like, that's pretty good. Why does everybody hate this movie?
Yeah, Van Helsing did not.
No, and then you get older, and it gets older, and it's like, the first viewing in a few years is like, it's not bad. And then the next viewing is like, I like this. And then you don't watch it again. Yeah, and then finally
Dracula
it's like, why
in
did
that
Hugh
movie
Jackman
was a
do
fucking
this?
Power Rangers villain. I don't know what was happening.
The only
Like,
thing cool about that was Jekyll and Hyde.
yes,
Like, that was kind of neat, and like,
From
you know.
League? From League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Or
No, wasn't he in?
No.
No, he was
there
in.
was Jekyll and Hyde in League.
No, I'm talking about Van
Yeah,
Helsing.
no,
I
but
did
we're
like
talking
Jekyll
about-
and Hyde in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen,
Yeah.
but I also liked him. I liked his portrayal more in Van Helsing.
I
He was
like
very
his
cocky.
interaction
one.
with Van Helsing too. Like he
He
was
did
such a
shit
smug
talk him.
asshole.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was very much like a necromonger, just like talking shit about him. Little puny man, like just throws
That
him
movie,
against
Van
the wall.
Helsing, also I know they're CG, but has the best ratio vampire or not vampire werewolf I've ever seen. Like the proportions were awesome.
Until the end,
Looked
when
good.
he like gets
Yeah,
all
the ending
stretched
was-
out. Like they do
Yeah, it
that
was
move
weird.
in front of the lightning strike, so it's like the shadow, but the werewolf looks like he's 30 feet long, like an alligator. It does look a little weird there. And then the initial transformation with like Hugh Jackman turning into a wolf where he's just like ha ha, and then it's fucking early CG is so funny because of that though, because it's just like
It's so
they're
bad.
like you need to like your skin is ripping off you, Hugh, and he's just like ha. That's like the best he's got. Like he's paid 15 million for this movie. And, ha, ha. I don't know. It makes me laugh when it's that bad. Same thing with
Breaks out into song and
Ghostbusters.
dance.
The lady Ghostbusters, who are, by the way, that movie insults me because they go to a metal concert. All right, I can't say the word that high school Matt would have called everybody in that building. I'm just saying, like, no,
Posers?
no, sure, we'll use that one.
It's a safe word.
But then the
Posers is
the new safe word, poser. No, but then like they're all on stage capturing the ghost, and this is gonna be the Proton Pack, and they're just like this. And I remember being like just angry because I went and saw it in theaters. I was an open-minded pro-feminist, and I'm like, seriously, ladies, this is the best you can give me? Like, you don't. What is this? Even Jen was like, yeah, nah, yeah. She spat her tobacco on the ground. That's right, Jen.
None of them are funny in that movie. I just can't.
I'm gonna get text, you fucking asshole. You said I'm forgetting my anniversary. I did text him and tell him to make her watch. Let the boy watch. He should really start letting his son watch the show.
Yeah, that would be great.
No, I mean it's not violent.
He already watches horror movies,
right?
That's
Just
true,
some language, and there's tons of language in Chucky, and you know he's seen all of them 25 times because of Lewis.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I recommended the documentary, and he's like, "Yeah, I own it." And I was like, not only had he seen it, but he's like owned it for a while. It's just been collecting dust on his shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad about that.
So,
go on.
My wife doesn't watch the podcast, so I'm gonna say thanks to Matt. Because of you, I now own all of Ultraman.
Ah, you got it? I didn't know if you owned it.
Ultraman Returns and Zeo Ultraman. I own them all. I own the whole thing.
Every time I see Ultra, because I recommend like the one time I saw a deal on the movie or something, and I couldn't remember.
It was the first movie.
Ultraman or was it Guyver?
No, it was Ultraman. It was Ultraman the movie collection, and then he showed me Ultraman
the whole
season
series,
collection. Yeah, then Zeo, and then he showed me just Return of Ultraman.
Anytime I see Ultraman shit, I'm like, all right, I'll send it off just in case. Like same thing with Lewis. I don't remember what it was, but I sent it off, and I was like, I don't know. Oh no, it was the Capcom bundle with you.
Yep.
Like I figured you weren't interested, but I was
bundle.
like, we'll see. And you're like, yeah, I bought it. I own it all. It's mine.
Yeah, today was Batman Beyond for.
Yeah,
Lewis.
You got Anthony with Batman Beyond.
I don't know if he
Those are nice prices.
Happy anniversary to him. I just saw that you got the 3 seasons of the show HDX plus Return of the Joker.
Yeah,
and it was
wow.
It was $20, and I remember him really liking Batman Beyond, so I didn't know if he owned it or not. And I know it's on HBO, I think, but $20 and you own it, man. It's kind of nice. Like Mad Men,
nice.
we have yet to watch an episode, but the one day I saw Mad Men, the entire series was $10, and I was like, I'll just scoop that up. By the way, that's how I got The Office on Vudu. I was up at 3 in in the bathroom, and I happened to look on Slick Deals, and somebody posted that it was $9.99, and it's probably a fuck up. And I was like, I'll just check. Sure enough, it was $10 for the entire fucking series. I put my phone down and went to bed, and by the time I woke up, it was back to 70.
Yeah, somebody fucked up.
That's why I text you guys everything as soon as I see it, because it's like, I could have shot a text out, but I didn't think of it at that point. Now, every deal that I think you guys are interested in, I'm like, what? Enjoy. So we are here to watch 2 movies. Real quick, though, have you guys been watching anything else besides these 2 movies?
Ultraman.
I love it.
Not really. Just fucking normal TV. Keeping up with Monk. That's about it.
Jen said the idea that they had Hemsworth as eye candy is the total opposite of feminism. Well, 2 wrongs do make a right in Hollywood, I think that's their slogan. Like, we'll just keep double fucking everybody.
I purchased Japanese because I've been continuing my adventure of Japanese horror movies, but I'm getting to like the B movie versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like super interesting.
You're gonna get into
Like,
the
they get
Aswan soon.
Yeah, they get like super creative with shit.
That's not Japanese though.
No, it's Filipino.
It's Filipino.
I have fallen in a weird thing where I've been listening to Howard Stern interview wrestlers on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh my! I've listened to a couple of those.
They're interesting. They're nice to put on, and like they auto roll in a playlist of all the wrestling interviews. So it's like 5-minute interviews where I play some Rocket League or some shit. Like I don't know. I've been trying to watch movies lately. I just haven't had the concentration. Because it's not even the concentration, it's just trying to decide what the fuck to watch. And then I've seen all of my movies except for like Avatar, but I'm not gonna Avatar's like we're gonna have an evening of Avatar, right? It's like 3 hours and 30 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Each movie, no?
Yeah, each
This
one of
one's
them's
the
long, but
longest,
but the second one's fucking really long. So
Shit, dude,
so
I
it's
still
like
haven't seen the second one.
if you're gonna
I
watch
watched it.
Avatar, you have to have like you're dedicating a night to it, or you're going, we'll watch part A and part B.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Same thing with
This-
James Bond. James Bond was 3 hours long. I mean, I liked it, but it was 3 hours long.
These next couple of days for you, Giovanni, would probably be the best because you're just by yourself. You can watch it anytime.
Well, that's being taken up by jerking off to anime.
And playing Street Fighter.
Every time I see those porn games on Steam, I go, who the
The
fuck
trick
would-
is to get sticky fingers so you can do the
Ooh.
moves better.
He's a
You gotta
sticky
get the
bandit.
stickiness somehow.
Okay.
I just
Take your word for it.
when I'm in Steam and I see the porn games, I go, who the fuck buys this? And I go, Giovanni probably does.
I do.
Yeah. He's got
They,
a whole.
they have great storytelling.
He's just got a decrepit fuck robot. Hello,
What was that?
Giovanni.
That one with the frog or some shit that somebody was pointing out to us. We're like, what the fuck?
Well, see, everybody fantasizes like movies like Ex Machina for like sex robots, right? But in real life, like you have
Ooh,
sex,
creeps me
you
the
have
fuck
sex
out,
dolls, but sex robots are like some dude in a basement, and the thing is just like shaking and connected to a fucking motor. He's literally got to pull start his sex machine. Like they're not glamorous yet. And if you've got
It has
money,
like warning signs to watch for sparks.
right?
It
Only
has-
run it for a certain
It has
amount of
exhaust. You
time.
got to open the windows and shit
Oh,
so you don't get back from smoke inhalation.
Hope you're not a big fella because you're going to
Carbon
complete the
monoxide.
circuit. Like, you don't want to hit the back of this thing. It's like, what? Where's the fun in that? All right. First off, let's talk about Alex. What have you been watching besides anime porn?
Like I said, Monk.
Besides anime porn? Monk.
Reruns of Monk.
Oh, he's got a new movie coming out. I don't remember
I
what
did
it
see
is.
John Wick 4.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did like it.
Without spoilers, is the staircase scene a little like, come on?
Yeah, I
Is
was
that the one
counting.
where the
like-
guy falls forever.
No, it's
I,
not.
I
It's,
see that meme everywhere.
it's not only that.
the-
It's just
it's the stairway for fucking The Exorcist.
well.
You know
they-
the long stairs that you look up.
Here's
it's
the
that
thing.
place.
Okay.
It's like a video game because he climbs them and then gets knocked back down, and then he's gonna fucking climb them again, and it's like. Part of me is just like Keanu Reeves is in his 50s. Like a lot of it's
Yeah.
stuntmen, but a lot of it's
Oh,
him.
yeah. Jen, I
Fubar.
did finish Fubar.
I gotta-
You guys
okay.
are still watching, right?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Not
Have you
loving it.
finished it?
Not completely. We have 2 episodes left.
So
I'm not
I'm
loving
pretty sure
the
Matt's gonna be.
mixed
happy
tones
about
on this
this.
one.
I started Letterkenny.
Oh, tell me you like it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Well, another thing is that, like most of the episodes in the first season end in fistfights.
Yeah,
I mean
makes
that
no fucking sense.
that does so then in the later seasons you don't get one an episode, but it's like every few episode one takes place and it's like yes, like they're fighting again. Dude, I love Letterkenny. Shorzy, I was a little bit disappointed. How are you now? I like how his name's Daryl, but they call him Derry. Fucking, that's what I appreciate. No more Letterkenny. Yes, they actually just released a new episode, just one episode. It's weird. They release a season and then they release a random episode. Like the last year's was National Women's Day. I don't know why they do it, but they do it.
Is there a delay? Because that usually happens when there's a delay somewhere.
Might be
Or
writer's
is it
strike.
like Doctor Who where they have like Christmas specials? But
Oh, that's true. They could have specials.
I haven't watched the new one, so I don't know what the subject on it is. But yeah, they're weird like that. Like I'm assuming they got more seasons coming. I know Letterkenny's really fucking popular. I do feel Shorzy was kind of a hit and miss. Like not as good as Letterkenny, and it's for reasons. It's because it's just it's a more serious tone, and they take Shorzy from a character who's just an asshole who you kind of like to just this pitiful like meh. It's a weird transition they do with him. I haven't finished it clearly. But yeah, Fubar, the tonal imbalances in that fucking show, dude. It's so hard for me to deal with. Like the one episode literally ends with the threat of them dying, and it's all serious, and then it cuts to the jazzy music of the theme song. End of
So
end of the episode.
is it
It's like,
supposed
what
to
the
be like a comedy,
yeah,
like a comedy
comedy,
show, or
action,
It's supposed to.
suspense.
It's the way Arnold described it was. He said that if he was to make a sequel to True Lies, this is what it would have been.
James Cameron is crying over his eighth wife right now. Yeah, no, it's not True Lies. I like some things about it, some things I really don't like about it, and the tonal imbalance is the biggest thing. There's several episodes where I don't think they know if they want to be serious or a comedy action show. And it just swings too far to each side. Also, Arnold just looks awkward behind a CG background playing action hero still. I mean, the guy's in his fucking 70s.
Jesus, he's 70?
Yeah, I think he's like
Oh my
72 or
God.
something. Like, he's old. Like, so it just looks weird. Like, they can dye his hair, but the problem is I'm being a huge Arnold fan, you can't not see the fact that his neck is shrunk into his fucking chest. He's got a bit of a beer gut now that they hide. Like, he's a 70-something-year-old man. So it's like,
He looks like Herman Munster when he runs around sometime.
yeah, he moves very stiff. And part of it is because after his last heart attack, he just doesn't train the same way. He basically is just training for health and not muscle or anything, which, cool, but not really the Arnie I have in my head. At least Peter Weller was hidden behind the RoboCop suit, and you never understood that he was just a skinny white dude. I mean,
This is true.
get to the chopper, Jen says. No chopper. Yeah, he does say that. He's like, they're going to the chopper! Like, he does all of his lines, but they vary. Like, it's just slightly different than they used to be.
He
It's
does.
a copyright.
He talks a lot about his former cast. Like, he talks about Danny DeVito.
I do like Tom Arnold's cameo character, whatever you want to call
You're
it.
there, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, I don't like Tom Arnold in real life. But see, that's the thing, though, is it's just like, it doesn't feel like True Lies, though. Like, I don't know, maybe it just feels like middle-aged Arnold still trying. Not middle-aged, old-aged. Senior citizen. Guys, we're going to have to put him down one day. It makes me sad. It's going to take a lot of tranks. It's tough. I mean, you guys saw the video where he gets back kicked or drop kicked in the back.
Yeah.
He took it like a fucking
barely
champ.
fucking moved.
Yeah, God damn it. What the fuck? He's got kicked
The
me.
guy also was like fucking 90 pounds and shit. Maybe
But
less.
still, I mean, he was in his late 60s at that point. Like, you get drop kicked by an average late 60s-year-old man can get drop kicked by a child and be brought down. Like, let's be real.
That is true.
And children are fat nowadays. Little fat, fudgy fuckers. Anyways, we're watching Cocaine Bear. I'll start with this one. Wow, is it violent?
It is,
Holy
man.
shit. Like, there are scenes in this movie that are more violent than most AAA horror movies.
Lots of limb loss.
Yes. And then
If it's not a limb loss, it's just fucking. It's still connected by a piece of skin.
Then the sheriff on the road, or the park ranger.
The park ranger,
Dude,
that was fucking funny.
Fuck, she got some of the worst of it. I mean, getting mauled by a bear is bad, but
ruined,
She got
man.
road rash and
All
then
right.
fucking death.
let's talk about this story because it's kind of fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie. The premise of the movie, I know it's based on whatever, blah blah blah. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But the idea is basically this dude who works for a drug, not dealer. What are they? Drug empire guy?
Like a drug runner. He's a
Drug-
drug runner for one of the
who
drug
is a
empires.
subsidiary of the cartel, who works for the cartel. And he goes to parachute out of a plane, dropping all these bags of cocaine. And presumably he was going to land and go get said cocaine. And as he goes to jump out of the plane, he knocks his dumb ass out, hits the deck. Cocaine is in the woods, and they find his dead body's guts and the cocaine
Up
surrounding
to this
it.
point,
He's doing the
is a
cocaine he's
true
supposed to be
story.
delivering.
Is it
up
just
to this
up to
point.
that point?
Up to this point, yeah, it's a true story.
So
But they don't explain why he was bailing all that coke out like that because there's no parachutes on the bags. He's just launching them out the fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just launching it. So it because that park is so big, it was a path that they would drop bags and then would tell people to come and pick them up along this path. in the woods,
And what I also
based on the true story.
I also presume he ditched the airplane because there'd be no
Well,
evidence.
The plane crashed. They said that you
Well,
found
yeah,
the plane wreckage.
but there didn't seem to be anything wrong with it when he was on it. He crashed it intentionally. Like they're not, there's no evidence. It's burned up. They'll have the cocaine wrapped up before no time, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
but
I think it was supposed to be a distraction at the point, like because you get all the cocaine out.
Yeah,
The
because you
plane
think
crash is a
causing a plane crash,
distraction.
it's gonna
And then
bring a
over
lot of heat.
here, I don't know.
Okay. Some of that shit is just kind of weird, but yeah.
Did anyone else in this movie, were you ever on the human side, or were you like me and just going like rip them up, bear?
Nope.
Yeah, me.
Every time there was a bear kill, I'm like, next one.
They won't. Okay, so like, here's the thing: is the guy from Game of Thrones and his poor wife in the beginning didn't deserve
Olaf.
it. Yeah. Well, by the way, apparently once you get off of Game of Thrones, you just stop working out. Anyways.
Yeah, that guy was skinny as fuck in this
Right?
movie.
Come on. He used to be jacked. Get back on the Hollywood roids, guy. They just feed him pills until they get bulky. Look at Chris Hemsworth.
It's true.
Just inflate him with pills.
The two little cokehead kids that fucking eat the coke instead of
That scene was funny though.
Yeah, it was. It was really well
Hope
done.
you like baking powder.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I like the movie. I just honestly, the story is razor thin, and then you have these built around characters like Ice Cube's son, which I didn't hate his character. I thought he did all right. I thought the bathroom scene was pretty funny. And then you have Ray Liotta, which is Rest in Power, his final movie. And then you got surprise.
It was really bad makeup for him though on there. Like they you can see how pancake that makeup is on him.
Yeah, I mean he didn't look bad though, considering he passed away not long after. He didn't look like a guy that was dying. Well, he did die though. Spoiler alert. But then clearly the bear gets a hold of the cocaine and goes on this whole rage where it's essentially hunting out the rest of the cocaine to stay high. Thingies to stay high. And so that's basically what the movie is the interactions of these. You have the group of dudes trying to get the cocaine. There is the funny scene in the arcade with Ray Liotta and the kid. And he's just kind of like, what the fuck do I do with this kid? Like,
it's his grandson.
His grandson, because the kid's mother just passed away.
Well, then he also leaves the kid in St. Louis watching TV.
Yeah,
just by himself.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
He goes to fucking the park.
Rob Zombie was raised on TV. He'll be fine. True story.
I felt like the most useless character in this movie was the detective you meet.
Dude, what was that guy's deal?
The detective Teddy Ruxpin, you mean?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Was weird.
He had no purpose.
He didn't. Yeah, it was so weird.
The whole scene at the gazebo is just stupid.
Other than being the vein of how the guy got the fucking dog, there was no use for him.
So was I crazy, or in the first half of the movie he acted like he didn't want the dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
And he also had this dog for only one day.
Because by the end of the movie, he was in love with her. So I was like, wait, did I miss something? It was a
cute thing, though, man. You see all that fluffy hair. It was a cute dog.
Yeah, and then the guy, yeah. I was, so one thing I was happy about was I thought Ice Cube's kid's character was, like, dead. And they filmed it so, like, when you see into the truck, you can't see over the seats. Yeah. So it looks empty. And I was like, oh, shit, he is dead, huh? And then they finally show he's alive. I was like, all right, cool. Because I did like his character, and I did like his buddy, Ray Liotta's kid. But, but, I mean, there was, like, no scenario where I was rooting for the humans. I really was just, like, give me another bear kill, because these are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they did such a good job with the kills.
They basically turned the bear into a superhero. Like, the scene where it gets shot, and then the cocaine goes in its nose, and it gets all ramped up again.
Like,
what the fuck?
It.
Yeah, like he ate some spinach.
Anytime it got the scent of the cocaine, it fucking just came back to life.
Yeah.
So like when it passed out on top of on top of Eddie, the son, he was just like fucking stuck there, and they're like, "Yeah, get the guy off of you." And he's like, "It's a girl."
That scene.
How do you know? It's vaginas in my ear.
Yeah, that scene was just so annoying. It's like, this is stupid. You
it was
shit.
Too long.
You climbed.
It was too long.
It really was. But it's also like you climbed a tree and jumped over there.
So
like,
you'd have been better off where I fell asleep 3 times.
You would have been better off kicking the posts out of the gazebo and collapsing it and letting the government pay for it. over climbing that tree and jumping from said tree and not having a way to get down. That was the dumbest fucking thing. Like, nobody would make that decision. And anybody who would have made that decision probably would have started stomping on the roof until it collapsed. But like, I'll take a broke leg, fuck it. Like, you just go to the lowest point you can by one of the beams and you start stomping until it collapses, and you got, or because they didn't they have furniture over there?
Yeah, it was in the middle
tables
though.
under.
Yeah, try to land on the fucking furniture. Like,
I'm sure there was a fence on the side of the gazebo, so if he would have hung off the side, his feet would have hit the top of it. But he was old. So.
Yeah, he can't hang off the fence because he's got no upper body strength. It would be one of those things where he goes to hang off the fence and he's just like a sack of potatoes.
But how did he fucking shoot those fingers?
Yeah, he was going to pick it up. See, in the trajectory, it's the Kennedy bullet. We can't discuss that.
Yeah,
it's too political. Oh, this isn't movie related. Did you guys hear about Nick Merckx's skin in Call of Duty?
No.
Oh my god, yeah.
Call of
It's
Duty.
so fucking stupid.
They have removed his skin because there was a tweet about Gay Pride Month and everything, and he tweeted it or retweeted it and said, or how about you just leave kids alone?
Yeah, so it was a gay pride activist and anti-gay pride activists, and they started an argument and they started fighting in front of a school.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I think it was a grade school, and he's like, and all he tweeted was, "Just leave the kids alone." He never said, "I hate gay people."
Nope.
He never said, nothing defamatory. It was just leave the kids alone. And
was it directed to any side, or was he like saying it to both parties?
No,
like,
he just tweeted the argument, the post.
I don't go too deep into it, but the idea should be like, I don't think the treatment of children belongs to either side. Like, I think saying leave the kids alone is its own statement. Like, leave them out of it completely. Like, you may have you can have your sexuality. You can fist fight each other. Leave the kids out of it.
And he had justification for his argument because he's a father.
Well,
he's a parent.
What was interesting is Dr. Disrespect actually live on stream, like he started his stream and he's like, we have an announcement. And he started talking about it and he goes, so this is what we do. And he uninstalled it on stream. And he's like, this is what we do. He's like, I'm not going to play it until they either apologize to him or reinstate the skin. And you got to feel bad for Timmy Tatman, though. Like, he's got a skin too, and he's like probably pretty obligated to play the game right now. Like, that's gotta suck. But yeah, I thought that was crazy.
It's so stupid.
Like, he didn't attack anybody. He just said that his tweet literally was like, or you could just leave the kids out of it, basically.
Yeah. It was directed at nobody.
Yeah.
And it was coming, he's a father, so you can tell it was coming from the point of a parent, which makes sense. He has grounds in the argument.
And that's the other thing, too. Like, I feel like the completely neutral argument is leave the kids out of it.
Yeah.
Like, let them be kids. Like, that's the problem is, like, let them be kids. And the problem is that then becomes like, are you accusing the LGBT community of pedophilia? And it's like, no. Just leave the fucking kids out of it.
Crazy, man.
I mean, it is a little weird.
And they removed his skin. And you know what concerns me is that he's going to apologize. I hope he doesn't. He said he stands by his tweet. Yeah. I hope he doesn't apologize.
I hope not, too. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, I'm not the biggest viewer of Nick Merckx. I've watched him from time to time. But, like, he's been going at it for a long time. And, like, you'd have to imagine that that's, like, one of the main games he plays, if not the main game he plays. And it's like, to get your own skin in, it's got to be fucking awesome. And then for them to do that.
To be fair, Call of Duty is being destroyed by the fans. Like,
it's not by the fans.
They did something really stupid, and they are being totally destroyed by it.
Well, this is Call of Duty themselves, though. They literally put out a statement and tweeted a statement of, like, we support Pride Month, and the Activision is just, whoever's in their marketing department is thinking way too emotionally, and in my opinion, got too ahead of it. Like, this.
And you know what pisses me off is that Call of Duty's statement makes it sound like Nick's statement is anti-gay, and that's not what it was. That's absolutely not what it was. And they don't understand. Like, they don't see that.
Well, that's all Blizzard and Activision, right? Blizzard, Activision, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they don't want to have that same shit that happened with the guy who was running Blizzard.
Yeah, but there's a vast difference between pandering
they're jumping
to
ahead of themselves like everybody's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were just definitely pandering to an audience that honestly, I mean, we're talking Call of Duty. Like, have you been in an open chat lobby?
Oh, it's bad.
I mean, come
Oh,
on, like,
and to
fuck,
be
dude.
fair,
Not
I've
even the
heard
voice
somebody
chat. When you're playing before everybody lands, read the text chat next time you're in Warzone.
Yeah,
to if you ever put
type one if you're this. Type one if
any one of those people who goes crazy with that equality bullshit in a chat of Call of Duty, they will kill themselves. Like they will
I just
in Minecraft. I think
honestly,
we could still say that.
Call of Duty is a certain environment. Like, it's it's like you going to a sauna and then getting mad because you got steam on you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
understand what you're not everything is for everybody. You can't play Elden Ring and then go, I just wish there was easy mode. Elden Ring, the whole core of Elden Ring is no easy mode. It's not
yeah.
the game for you. So it's just like, and
if
that's
you have
why,
Wiimote though.
well,
But
no,
people
Call
people
of Duty
gave
takes
that
way more than
studio
that.
shit.
Just kidding.
People gave that studio shit because their response was get good. That was their response. Get good. Like that's what it
I
is.
mean, here's the thing: studios are not obligated to make games for casual gamers.
No.
In the case of Elden Ring, you made a game that was, in the same token, harder for new people to grasp as well as easier for new people to grasp rather than jumping into Dark Souls. So, like, you kind of made a double combo, and you made a game that did change the open world landscape a little bit, as in, like, there's really no direction. There is, but you got to pay attention. Like, it's not just, you know what I mean? So,
You were
like,
you were talking about something like that about Diablo today.
yeah, well, Diablo's just, the map is so fucking big. And there's so many
You-
different objectives. I was getting all ADD,
you were-
and I was like, ooh, a
But you
dungeon.
were talking about the casual. You were talking about the casual gamers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have there is no obligation on developers' parts to make games to appeal to casual players. I think games like Sifu prove it. It's not a casuals game. Like, not everything needs to be a cookie cutter Assassin's Creed. Not everything needs to have the Batman fight controls. Like, it is what it is. It's just not a game for you. Just as in if you don't play Madden or you don't play FIFA, they're just not a game for you. And I think gamers are honestly, they're a bunch of pussies. Like, I'm a gamer, but like, if there's a game I don't like, guess what? I don't fucking buy it. I don't tell it the game to mold around my interests. I don't go
Or you don't play it.
I don't tell Final
7 Days to
Fantasy.
Die.
It's like, well, I'm sorry.
You don't
but,
like it.
but I told you we would try State of Decay. But it's like playing Final Fantasy and bitching that it isn't a first-person shooter. It's like, well, you're playing the wrong game, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah, that's the problem I have with that. Is it's just like, shut
well,
the
that's
fuck
the
up.
bullshit. Like Street Fighter 6. There's a whole movement that were like they were like Capcom made a mistake bringing Cammy's old costume back.
Yeah,
Like,
you know who
you
doesn't?
shut your fucking mouth. Like, are you kidding me?
You know
Like,
who doesn't think that? The millions of people who bought it day one.
yeah, exactly.
And that's
It's
all
so
that's going to matter in
stupid.
the end. If they ignore
Their argument is that there's no women who look like this. There are plenty of women who look like that on the planet. Like, what are you talking about?
Have you looked at Instagram?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
Like, Instagram is nothing but hot whores.
That's not real. That's social media.
I mean, it could, unless it's AI images, it's a real person at some point. Whether they're living now, I don't know. Not my problem. Yeah, no, I would beg to differ. There's a lot of like model martial artists that look like Cammy. All you gotta do is squats.
Johnny, do you use a classic controller or a modern controller?
Classic.
You gotta
I've
use
tried
classic.
modern. It's okay.
No, it sucks.
But yeah, I still use classic.
No, modern is so
You don't like
fucking
modern?
2 buttons? No, I want a high punch, thank you. Yeah, no, modern sucks.
You can't do all the moves on modern either.
No,
Oh,
no, unless you hold the one trigger and
messed with
then
this,
do the contra code.
That's a lot of shit to do. Then.
Yeah, I like the classic controls because it actually feels like Street Fighter. But back to this movie, Cocaine Bear. I don't know.
Did anybody like the guy who the park ranger was in love with? Jesse Tyler Ferguson's character?
No, that guy annoyed me.
No, I was waiting for him to die, and he dies brutally.
Yeah,
I know, but I like the way he died. But I know him from Modern Family, so I find him funny.
I just kind of found him like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah,
Like,
that guy
is he
was
shot in the head. Like, is he a
annoying.
veteran? Like, did he fucking get shrapnel from a war
when he
somewhere.
climbed up the tree and the kid tells him, "Oh, you're safe. You're in the tree." He's like, "No, bears can climb trees." He's like, "Oh."
Dude, he dies
And
horribly.
Yeah,
the way that
does.
bear fucking takes off up the tree.
And then lunges down back upon his, which, by the way, his leg was already off.
Mm-hmm.
So his one-legged body is falling to the ground and the bear slams on top of him. What a horrible fucking way to die.
How about the
Ways to
scene
die.
with the bear fucking like doing fucking backstroke on the fucking dirt?
Yeah. The bear was funny. The bear cubs were funny when they were covered in cocaine.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a whole cocaine family.
They did a pretty good job with how the bear looked.
You could tell it was heavily it was CG, but it looked cool. Like it looked good.
Yeah.
Like you could tell it wasn't real, but I mean, I don't think that's what they were going for.
Certain scenes where you could see that it was a person in a bear suit, kind of like doing different things. But
I like the movie a lot. It's just the problem is fundamentally story wise, there isn't a lot to talk about. It's a simple story of essentially a coke drop goes wrong, bear eats coke, kills a bunch of people, and at the end it's repeat. Like it's like not a whole lot to talk about.
And a lot of the scenes are dragged out. They're just long.
Yeah, it is
like
a little.
scenes.
It does drag in the middle when they're like walking through the forest. Like I will say, the coolest scene is probably when the bear attacks the cabin. It's like a horror movie.
The Ranger's cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the woman from Justified, Mama's apple pie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, does she get it bad. Can you imagine getting road rash on your face to death?
Dude,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was.
See, I just remember
That whole chase scene was amazing too.
it was pretty cool. I mean, the fact that he didn't get that door closed means he deserved it. Should have get good. That's the get good equivalent of life.
The music was really good for me. It took me back to my old youngin' days.
My
It
old
was all
young
80s
days,
fucking
I
80s
remember
music.
being in a belly. Anyways. I'm ready to give my score. I don't know if you guys are. First of all, I'd say watch it because, like, I don't want to give every little detail of what little story there is either. Like, you should, like, why is Ray Liotta involved? Tee go watch the fucking movie.
Do you think it was an award-winning thing for him though?
No,
I didn't think so.
I mean his role is cool and all, but like, no. I see why they did it, because he died, but nobody's fucking role in the movie.
And for Elizabeth Banks' first movie, do you think that was good, or was it her first movie? Or
I don't think it was her first movie. I think she directed one of the Pitch Perfects or something.
Okay.
I thought it was. I like Elizabeth Banks. I like the movie. I think find a way to speed up your storytelling. If it's like if you have a thin story, don't spread it out thinner. Compress it a bit. Give more action. Have less talking and more bear mauling.
Like that whole gazebo scene could have been replaced with a chase scene, like the cop chasing them, and then the bear joins in, and then now they're all running together from the fucking thing.
How about this? The cop is chasing them, the bear is chasing them, and they all slip and all go tumbling down a hill. And you just see different angles of each one of them rolling down the hill, including the bear.
And then a slow-mo of the bear just hopping behind him down the fucking mountain.
Yeah, like he's chasing a salmon.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is, that's where I would have gone with it. I don't know how much of it is true beyond the dude falling from the plane. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's the dude coming out of the plane, the bear eating the cocaine, and then the bear dies. Like the bear immediately died.
Overdose.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's got to be a terrifying thing to see and hear a bear have a heart attack from cocaine.
Yeah.
Like if you're any other creature in the woods, you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck? Like you have no idea what's going on.
Black bear versus brown bear.
I would
black
go.
Bears you can fight.
I'd go black
brown
so
bears,
I could fight it.
Brown bears, you have to curl up and pretend you're dead.
I mean, so what would you do? Would you rather curl up and pretend you're dead or fight a fucking bear?
No, I wouldn't want to. It's tough, but I wouldn't want to fight a bear.
I will fight the fucking bear. The cubs on cocaine.
But the black
funny.
bear is smaller. Black bear is smaller.
I mean, I don't know. Do I have a knife? Like that's the thing is,
bear.
these scenarios, I need to know what I have. Like these dudes have guns.
Yeah.
Like if I had a fucking Colt 1911 with 15 plus 1 in the chamber, I'd kill that bear. I would win.
If you find yourself by Great America and a bear attacks you, which is there's a black bear on the loose out there, be careful.
Hashtag Harambe. I'm on the gorilla side on that one. Fuck that kid.
Yeah, the anniversary was a couple months ago. Or
Should have
last
thrown the
month,
parents in the fucking thing with him. Let's see what this fight can be. It's gonna be like Jet Li and Unleashed, but it's Harambe against a family.
Weren't they fucking like antagonizing the
Oh,
gorilla?
the kid fell in, and
they let the kid fall in there or whatever.
How do you not pay attention? It's like, how do you just not pay attention to your kids so much they can fall in a gorilla enclosure? Like, if that's not neglect, I don't know what the fuck is. Fabian, I do coke, and my name's Dr. Roxo. Dude, that show is no longer on the Maxi Pad, which really fucking annoys me. Why'd they get rid of a bunch of Adult Swim shit?
I know they. And Adult Swim, I don't think Adult Swim has their own fucking.
No, don't worry. For another $4.99 a month, you can add it to Hulu Plus or Showtime. That'll be coming soon. Or HBO Max is going to have add-ons. Oh, you want Adult Plus? $2.99 extra a month, just like Prime does. But Prime calls it channels. I will say Terrifier 2, I believe, is on Peacock.
Yep.
Did it finally go out?
Go watch it. If you haven't seen it,
it's great.
It's on Peacock. Renfield. Go log into the cock. Yeah, and Renfield, we gotta talk to Lewis, because I did throw it out there. Maybe we'll either... I'm trying to hold off on the Kill Bill movies, waiting for whenever the 4K transfer's coming. Is that stupid?
No, are they coming?
Yeah, they're supposed to be releasing like later this year.
Oh no, so just wait for them.
And I figure we can throw the new transfer into the review as well. Hell, I'll buy... Shut the fuck up! I'll buy the series talking to me. I'll buy those physical to really give it an in-depth overview. What is that? Kissy face. So I was thinking, like, what was the other? God, I texted him earlier.
Clown face.
The two movies. Oh, John Wick 4. Although I don't know, have we all?
And Redfield.
We all seen John Wick's? All of them?
I think it's just. Oh.
I'm just missing 4. I just have to watch 4.
I'm assuming Lewis has watched them all.
Yeah, I think he has.
He power watched them. Remember?
Oh yeah, the trilogy. Yeah. All right, cool. Because we could do that and the other one. Forgot it already again. Renfield. It's a clown kissy face because clowns are perverts. I said it. Whatever. John Wick 4 was good. Light on the story. Heavy. I gotta watch it again. Like I don't know. Movies that I really do like, I typically will watch a couple times before I give my the first viewing is like my initial, and then it's like let's go over it again. So I'm gonna watch it again, or at least the fight scenes. Again. I will say Morpheus's role was very much diminished. He was basically a cameo in it.
But he's
That's
also
weird because at the end of the third one, he seems like he's going to be a major player.
Well, by the end of the third one, he shows up and he's like, John, there's a conversation there. And then John Wick goes to Europe and you don't see him again until like the end of the movie.
Oh, that's so weird.
I mean, this one also deals with the Continental a little bit more. Yeah, I really do. I did like it. I like the fact that Pennywise is like the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Did you watch post credits as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Watch the fast forward and you'll see the Marvel post credits scene. A movie I've had a hankering for, and I know we're about to give our scores for this one, is The Punisher with Thomas Jane. But if I watch that one, I gotta watch them both. And I just told my wife that I want to watch Terminator 2 because I have a unwatched 4K Blu-ray she bought me of it. I've got it in every which way you can get except fucking Laserdisc. But she bought me a physical 4K of it, and I have the digital and shit, but we're going to run that one soon. I prefer the theatrical cut. Sue me.
There's like talk about them trying to come up with another one. It's been, since 2019, the last one they made?
They should just reboot it completely, make it rated R, and make it a sci-fi horror movie.
Reboot.
Ballerina, I hope, is good, and I hope the Continental show actually happens. See, I have more interest in the Continental show than I do a Ballerina. Because the Continental show, you could have a central story arc of the Continental, and then you could show off, like, Donnie Yen could be in it, and you could see some of his kills in his earlier days. Like, they could do some really cool stuff with some of the
Continental, they can branch. They can branch really well.
They can't do too many stories about prequels for the Continental because Lance Hendricks is, how's he going to come back?
Well, you're going to have to recast that role. And you're gonna have to recast him if you want to look like the guy from the first season of Spartacus. The really shredded thin, the guy who like runs the slaves.
Yeah, the guy that
Yeah, like the fight
I love
master.
that show.
the
Show
guy
is
with the
so
gold
good.
fucking nose.
Yeah,
and shit,
like you're
nose
gonna have to
ring.
recast him, but I mean, you've got Common that you can bring in for a story arc. Like everybody John Wick comes up against and
Oh yeah, the
murders,
Russian. Yeah, the
you can
Russian
do
guy.
story arcs with them, like because it's all in the past. So it's like you can have, I would love to. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but even in Ballerina, I'd love to see like the ballerina's on the job and she's going to town and all of a sudden she hears gunshots and like she sees Wick and he's working as well and like the building over or some shit like. That sort of stuff would be nods, but I would think it would be a mistake to have too much John Wick in any of those shows.
No, but the Continental, you can, like I said, you can branch really well. I don't think you can
Yeah.
do that as well in
Well, I mean,
Ballerina.
think of the concept of one central arcing stories and then hundreds of others theoretically with
Supposedly
different
there's
assassins.
supposedly there's footage already shot with Lance Henriksen in this guy in the Ballerina.
Yeah, I hear Keanu Reeves is in it. I would imagine it's going to be a cameo of like he's coming while they're going, like stuff like that.
No,
He's
but
seeing you,
I'm
John.
talking about the dude that died, Henriksen.
Well, no, it's also
There's,
sad
there's,
because
there's scenes that he's in.
well, you also can't bring in the Russian from the first one at all
Oh shit, that's
because
true.
he's passed away.
Yep.
So that would have been cool to have it because he was awesome in the first John Wick. That'd have been a cool dynamic to have again because at one point, like they'd work together. Now I would love to see a prequel John Wick where you see him literally lay the foundation with the bodies he did that day. Like I do want to see like that's the one thing about the John Wick franchise that is a little kind of like shit. Keanu Reeves is 50 something years old is you can't ever see the John Wick of old. So you've never really seen John Wick, you know what I mean? Like 50-year-old John Wick is not the same
Real
as
John Wick. What
Yeah.
made him the
you
yeah.
only see the
boogeyman?
retired one.
yeah, show me 30-year-old
Yaga.
John Wick who hadn't fallen in love that was the Baba Yaga. Exactly. Like
Mhm.
that's what I'm interested in. And it's like, but you'd have to recast.
But like,
Or
who,
do serious CG de-aging, but that would look like shit more than likely.
The honest problem is Keanu Reeves has such a tone to him that I think it'd be pretty hard to mimic with the right actor.
Well, see, the thing is, if you're
yeah,
smart,
somebody to play a younger version of him.
well, because
Yeah.
Keanu looks younger when he does the clean cut haircut. So if you're
Oh, he
smart,
does. It is true.
you change the look to him basically having the Neo haircut, and have John Wick. You know, before he retired, he was a clean cut, straight up assassin. Like that's why, like he always wears the fine suits. Make him not have a beard. Like make young John Wick essentially Hitman. You know what I mean? Like from the
Yeah.
Hitman
Okay.
games.
I was just thinking about that. Like he would have been a great hitman, but he wouldn't shave his head for it.
You know what? I like the Timothy Olyphant Hitman movie. I think it's awesome.
I do too. I think it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
No,
I think he
'cause-
did a good job.
The next Hitman movie was shit.
The next one was bad. Yeah.
It wasn't good. And like his, if you go back and watch it, it's pretty fucking violent too. Like it doesn't pull. It's a good rated R Hitman movie. Although, I mean, how do you make a Hitman movie loyal to the games? It would be boring as shit. It was all stealth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
am I going to want to watch Timothy
Well, it
Olyphant?
depends on who you are that's playing it. Because
Yep.
I never fucking went stealth.
Yeah,
for too
that's
long.
true. I just shot everybody. Fuck it.
I always had my
But-
fucking my gold plated ballers.
Timothy Olyphant going into the kitchen and pouring poison in the soup doesn't sound fun to me. Like I want to see him murder things, you know. All right, let's give scores on this bitch. I'll go first. I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't love it at all. I'm gonna have to go 3 on this one. Simply because I thought it was enjoyable. I liked the violence factor. It was a little drawn out and just a little bit stupid, and not in like there was some funny stupid in it, but there was also a lot of just stupid in it. And I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna stay 3, but understand that I am kind of feeling 3.5 as well. But I don't do things in halves. That's not true. I ate half my chili.
I'm
earlier.
actually going to go 2.5 on this. That's
Oh,
not to say
wow.
I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but yeah, it drags out too long in a lot of parts. There are certain scenes, the gazebo scene, they could have
Yeah.
improved much better on it.
Well,
It could've been shorter as well.
detective
Yeah, it could have been
character
shorter.
was just so stupid.
Yeah, it was weird, man. That the detective guy, he was so out of place. I just didn't understand.
No, I don't. I mean, and the problem was his character was based on the precedence of he had been chasing Ray Liotta for a long time or following him for a long time, And it's like, would anybody really give up their like? What cop is going to be like, no, I'd rather be dead than lose this case. Like, I get it, but there's literally a bear high on cocaine ripping, like it's covered in blood. Like, just go home, go to your dog.
Why didn't he just fucking get a stick that was big? He's in a fucking forest. Pull the fucking down with a stick.
Well, for one thing, nobody in the theaters or in my house or your house believed his fat ass got up any tree.
No.
Like,
there's no way.
I'm supposed to believe he shimmied up a tree but doesn't have the upper body to get down.
If he did jump from that tree over there to there, he fell through the fucking gazebo. He broke the roof.
Yeah, dude, those gazebos aren't kept up very well. Like the weather and shit, like those usually have missing planks in the top.
Yeah.
Like,
and a lot of bees' nests.
Oh man, that would have been funny if he died by bees in the movie. I would have laughed at that scene. I would have, as he fell off the gazebo getting stung to death. That's how I would have laughed. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the movie was it's a little dumb.
For me, it's real simple. It's a 2. I did like it.
Lowest of us.
I didn't fucking love it at all. It was a lot of dragging stuff. When I tried watching this movie 3 times, and finally last night I actually powered through the whole thing, and I missed 3 minutes of it, and I watched 3 minutes today. But yeah, it just was like, it was too drawn out for me, and it was only an hour and 30.
He missed the Carrie Russell nude scene. Wait, is that her name?
Oh fuck! Then I missed more than 3.
Just go back and watch. What was that show she was on? The Russians or the Neighbors or whatever the fuck it was called.
The Neighbors.
Or she was a spy on FX. It was something like that.
I can't remember.
Show was actually not bad. She's a decent actress. It's just, yeah, I don't know this. I'm sorry, Ray Liotta, but you didn't deserve an award for this movie.
She sounded like she was hiding an accent every time, though. I don't know if you noticed. Like, an accent kept trying to come out of her.
I don't know.
And I don't know what she was trying to do, like a southern twang or some shit like that. It just didn't sound right.
I mean, it was set in Georgia, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
two and a half and 3. Wow. The full gamut. Well, we'll be back right now, and we're going to review the next movie, which is Dungeons and Dragons, starring the everly fading Chris Pine. Guys, you go first. I'm going to take a nap.
So, Chris Pine is honestly the only problem I have with this movie.
Dude, I don't know what it is about him, but
bad,
he's not bad.
He's not bad.
But do you remember the movie? What was the movie with him and Tom Hardy? Where there was a romantic comedy where they were spies and it's something at war.
Oh,
right. You know what the movie I'm talking about? I just keep thinking of Chris Pine in Star Trek, and then you see him now, and it's just like, I know you're really trying to like do your Chris Pine thing, but brother, I don't know, man. Like it's almost like you're just getting too old for the, like Ryan Reynolds is the only one that can still do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Actually, I think Ryan Reynolds would have been funnier in this role.
Oh yeah, see, he would be funnier in most movies. Yeah. I mean, so there was lots of cool nods to the Dungeons and Dragons franchise in the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
It's set within the universe, so lots of familiar names and territories and even people. Alex has
the fact that they mentioned Baldur's Gate, they pulled people from Baldur's Gate.
It's set in Neverwinter.
Mimic was in here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Alex says that the original cartoon crew makes a real life appearance.
They're in the cage. Yeah.
Yep.
So like,
as soon as I saw them when they came up from the I was like, oh shit!
Yeah,
like it's them.
You know, so it's like there is a lot of the movie's good. It's just this is another movie that I think does it way better than Boobar, but there are tonal imbalances. Like there's never really a moment in the movie where there's so much danger and tension that you believe it. Like there's never a moment when I watched it where I was like, well, they're clearly going to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there was that level of humor where it was more of a comedy than an action adventure, which is cool. Like, I enjoyed the movie. It's just, from a suspenseful point of view and a story arc point of view, there are tonal things where it's like, I wish it was a tad more serious. Like, he literally goes from talking about resurrecting his dead wife to, hey, let's make a joke. Like, it's too much Chris Pratt. What do we got? Rusty, what's up, buddy? We're not reviewing John Wick yet. We were just discussing the series.
Yeah. And you know what? And when you look at the characters, the seriousness that they have in their roles is portrayed better than than the Bard's character.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Hugh Grant in this movie. I thought he was a slimy piece of
He was
shit.
great.
Yeah,
He was great.
great.
Um,
And I don't like Michelle Rodriguez,
Neither do
but
I.
I think she did a very good job in this movie as a barbarian.
As an angry
yes,
person,
I fucking
Yeah.
hate Michelle Rodriguez. I just don't like her. However, she's in a little bit of hot water because she told paparazzi, she was caught on TMZ telling them to stop taking white people superheroes and make your own.
What?
They were asking her about the comic book movies and the minority characters, and her being a Latina told them basically, no, she did tell them, how about you stop taking white people superheroes and start making some of your own? Which,
but she also
I kind of don't hate that statement though, and I'm not saying
I'm just like ballsy,
I'm
man.
not I'm not
He
somebody
also-
who thinks that Superman can't be black. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't need a white Clark Kent. I'm just saying it is pretty ballsy of her to be like, as a Latino woman, go, hey, how about you go make your own fucking black or Spanish superhero and shut the fuck up about Superman?
But
Like,
she also
There is a
did
black
say,
Superman though.
There is, yeah. And he was supposed to be played by
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan, but I think that died with Snyder's whole thing, didn't it?
Oh, I think Michael B. Jordan would have been a good
Yeah, he would have.
choice for her.
she
Him
also
or
did
Anthony
say
Mackie, to
for
be
them
honest.
to,
That's
or
true.
she said, how many Marvel movies can you do? She's like, how many
Yeah,
superhero
well,
movies can you do? And she's in the franchise that's been for how many
That was
years?
I heard that comment. That was a stupid comment.
That-
Like,
I
come on.
watched the video of her saying that, and I was
dude,
like, okay.
Vin Diesel was on Instagram or some shit talking about a potential Toretto spinoff, and it's like the whole movie's a Toretto movie.
Yeah,
Like, all 10 of them are
God,
about this
dude.
bald motherfucker and his family. Like, fuck your
it would
family.
be
You're not
so
this
stupid.
important.
Yeah, that's
How many times does he say family?
In the new one, it's at least 10 because it's Fast X.
No, they said it was more. They said it was a lot,
No,
a lot,
God
a lot, a
damn
lot,
it.
a lot.
Fucking, I'm gonna hate watch that movie. I'm gonna wait until it comes streaming to the cock, and I'm gonna hate watch it. And be like, oh, that was a cool car crash. They would have all died. Like, the whole time, I'm gonna be sarcastic. Jen's gonna not want to watch it with me after a half hour. She's like, dude, I'm
And
out. I can't, like,
And then
Mystery
John
Science Theater
Cena,
shit.
John Cena taking his son on fucking a crash and shit. Like,
John Cena playing a Guido has got to be the most uncomfortable way to see John Cena. Because he's all, like, dyed black hair. They put him only in black clothing. He's like he's like a Jersey Shore guy, basically.
yeah.
but he's a Toretto.
It's just, yeah, he's the ghetto Toretto, the one that the father beat more.
Ghetto Toretto.
Ghetto Toretto. He's got his
Ghetto
own
Toretto.
franchise. He's just
But
riding in
wouldn't
a
that be
muscle car.
Dominic?
Ghetto
Wouldn't Dominic be the
Toretto.
ghetto Toretto? And
No,
he's the Guido Toretto?
he's got a
Guido
he's like the
Toretto?
head matriarch. He's gotta have something else like Papa Dom or some shit. That sounds like a pizza place. Come on down to Papa Don's. You get a medium and a large, $22.99
with a Corona.
with the Corona. You want the lime or no lime? Joking, lime it is.
Lime's already inside.
What drama does Jason Statham have with anybody? Come on, guy. Come on. The only guy he's done movies with in the past like 5 years is Guy Ritchie. Who is he bitching at? Is that because he wasn't asked back, or is he in it? Or Jason Momoa? Which Jason? There's two Jasons in that god awful.
Oh yeah, there
franchise.
is.
Oh yeah,
two
there is
Jasons.
two
I just-
Jasons.
yeah,
That's true.
I mean, I gotta say, Momoa looked like like from the previews, he was a decent villain, if not a bit goofy.
He was probably the savior of it.
I'm sure at some point he's wielding hatchets because the fucking guy loves axe throwing. And he looks Native American. I didn't say that.
So how many years has Fast been going on?
Since I was in high school, presumably.
So they're saying about
06?
20 years. 20
No,
years.
No, what is it? Because it's early 2000s for sure. 02 maybe?
And Momoa's character is
When the
supposed to
first
be a
one
little
came out?
kid.
I
He's
mean,
supposed to be a
there's
little kid
no
from one of
way.
them.
was it?
He's supposed to be the little kid from one of them.
I'm pretty sure 06 was Tokyo Drift.
So that's the third. But for a while they were saying that it didn't.
I mean, the
it didn't
first Fast and the
exist.
Furious movie is pretty awesome.
The first one is, yeah.
I think Fast 5 is just a pretty good action movie. Like, if you take away the we're in Brazil, like, everything else is pretty awesome about it.
2001 was the first
01.
Fast and the Furious.
Okay,
Damn!
22
Vin
years,
Diesel has
okay.
made an entire life out of Fast and the Furious, with a spare Riddick here and there, and only one
And
good one.
I am Groot.
Yeah, I don't give him credit for that role. He doesn't deserve it. Whoever's doing the mocap should win whatever fucking awards or accolades they get.
If they
How
have
much?
them,
I wonder how much he got paid to fucking just
It
just
shouldn't
to
have
say
been.
Groot.
I
say
should.
different versions of it.
I'm just gonna say because he's in Hollywood and everything's more expensive there. I wouldn't say he should have got more than 15 grand. You could have just all he had to do was go to Starbucks and then after Starbucks in the gym, go into the fucking recording booth for 10 minutes. I mean, come on. Like, even if you like, how many ways can Vin Diesel say I am Groot? Did he have to record anything past the first movie?
Right?
I don't know.
Like, you mean to tell me they wrote a script and were like, well, no, we need you to come back, Vin, because we don't have this tonal inflection?
Maybe in other languages. Maybe they had him do it in other languages.
Oh, God.
That's probably yeah.
He
But
could
what's
have
I
been
am
making
Groot?
big money.
I am Groot. Yo soy Groot.
They
What else?
know but they Turbo Man.
Everything just ends in
that's
Groot.
great.
Groot. Groot. Groot.
I don't know, dude. I just don't feel like the entire role of Groot's voice couldn't have been done in a day. Like,
That's true. It could also have been
give me a good 8-hour day, and you
changed.
have every line Groot could ever say. Does your background is too
It's too
dark?
dark.
Does you know how
And-
to text? This is what happens when you eat a sloppy Joe in one hand
I've
and
got
text
too
in
much
the
shit
other.
around here right now.
You know what it is? He's watching it on his phone, and he's like trying to type on the
Ah.
keyboard at the same time because phones are small. Get it?
Rusty's laying on his couch looking at on his phone.
Yeah, falling asleep till he
Until
drops
he
the phone
falls
in his
asleep.
face. Oh, I broke my nose.
That's probably what woke him up that one day when he dropped the phone on his face.
It was the sexual noises he was making that woke me up.
It wasn't me yelling at him.
Okay. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I thought the movie moved fairly quickly with a little bit of drag here and there. I thought
I will say the beginning of it moved faster. I was a little worried
yeah,
because the pacing was just they were fast forwarding so quickly.
yeah.
Telling the
So I
story
was a
of,
little scared. Yeah, I was a little
catch up.
scared. I was like, "Fuck, is this gonna be the whole movie?"
I thought the Portal magic was really neat. Like they were literally playing Portal. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
I thought that was neat.
We
I
don't
mean,
even need the bridge. Like, I was like,
the visual effects were, I thought, really well done.
the fat dragon was amazing.
Yeah.
That was
He
funny.
didn't even use his back legs when he first crawls out. It's just his front legs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Red Queen and the Red Prince were pretty good or whatever they were called. I thought the ending was funny when she basically gets the Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I liked all the characters. I liked this movie. I just thought that there were times when there needed to be more of a serious element, and it was too goofy.
Mhm.
And I thought even like I did like the she who shall not be named, Michelle Rodriguez in it, even though I don't like her. I thought
I don't like her, but she played a good
yeah,
barbarian.
she
did a
also
good
looked
job.
like she looked like China, dude. She's all roided out and shit, and she had a weird mullet in the movie.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you could see her shoulders. She's on some sort of growth enhancement, which good for her. I mean, she's in her 40s. She's in great shape. Like she's in Hollywood. She's not doing judo in a gym, so like good for you. But you did kind of look like China in this movie, and because I don't like you, I'm going to point it out. Sorry.
If China was still alive, she'd probably be a good barbarian too.
She'd have been a good Drax. Poor Batista. I like Batista as Drax. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
God.
the one dude that played the Zenek or whatever, like the guy that had like part of the magic of the red witches.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He was
The
good,
red mages.
but he was I don't there was something about him that I kept finding like off about him, and I don't know if it was like the way he talks. Like I don't know if that's what it was.
I feel like the
Or-
problem with the villains in this movie is not any moment in the movie did I think the heroes were actually in danger.
I agree too. Yeah, it got to a point near the end. Spoiler: one of them dies, but you knew it was gonna happen. One of them has to die. Like
Yeah.
the minute the fight started, I'm like, one of them has to die. One of it has to
Mhm.
happen.
Well, yeah, but does she?
Yeah, no.
Does she? Yeah. And I'm sorry.
The
If it-
only real problem I had.
If it's between Michelle Rodriguez and my dead wife's coming back. I'm just saying. Sorry, China Doll.
The one problem I had was the tiefling. That was the shapeshifter, the druid. She was a
Mhm.
tiefling druid.
Okay.
She did not look like a tiefling.
My character in Diablo is a druid, and he's awesome.
The tieflings look a little bit more demonish. They're a little bit heavier in color. Their horns come out a little bit more forward, and I think some of them have hooved feet.
Mm.
And I was like, just because you give them horns and a tail and call them a tiefling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I mean, other than that, it was pretty loyal to the subject matter. I mean,
It was.
you could tell it was written by people who actually were familiar with the source material, and the director and writer of this movie is the kid from whatchamacallit, isn't he? The
Freaks
James,
and Geeks.
yeah, Freaks and Geeks.
Mm.
The younger looking one with the, he looks like Michael Cera with dark hair.
He's the one that fucking flips everybody off in Waiting. He's like, "You're a bitch. You're an." He's the one that goes off on everybody.
He's the trainee throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job with it. I thought you'd imagine dudes like Joe Magnolia were in the theater day one for that one. Did you guys know he's a huge Dungeons and Dragons nerd?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I saw a YouTube video about his table he had custom built and brought into his house.
His table, you should see his
Beautiful.
playing room.
Well, the one with all the shit all around it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, his playing room is insane.
Yeah, I saw it when they were building it, and then he has a before and after video. And I mean, it must be nice to have money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be able to, like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna convert an entire room into a very expensive Dungeons and Dragons room, and he did. So good. I mean, Magic Mike must pay well, because holy shit, you only had to prostitute yourself, Joe. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. The only, and I'll give it a pretty high score. I'm ready to go with that if you guys are.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm gonna give it a 4. I thought it was well done. I thought the acting was decent. I do feel that Chris Pine is a little bit, or a decent amount past his prime. I'd like to see him maybe take on more serious roles and kind of drop the comedic shtick a little bit. I'd like to see him maybe get away from the action genre and move into a thriller, almost horror genre. Start movies like those. I think if you get him in a AAA horror movie, he's a decent enough actor where, like, Ryan Reynolds in Amityville Horror, like, that movie's not amazing, but he's pretty fucking good in it. So, like, I think he needs to step into more.
Pine as a killer.
Hey, I just think he needs to step into more mature roles.
I think he just needs to get more sleep because those bags under his eyes.
Well, I mean, but
I know, man.
it's really, and I think maybe this is why Ryan Reynolds succeeds with it more, is you never see Ryan Reynolds with a head full of gray hair. Like, to still see the guy with,
or he's looking tired.
well,
He doesn't look tired.
Tired, salt and pepper hair, like he's grayed out, but he's still acting like the juvenile kid. Like, that kind of shtick, I think is he's past it. He needs to kind of focus on roles as an actor, as shitty as that sounds, because I'm not really buying the Nathan Fillion from Firefly character anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's starting to wear thin, and I think that's where I kind of feel like he's a little bit past his prime in that element. Not to say that he couldn't do a serious role and win an Oscar or some shit like that. I'm just saying, stop doing that fucking character. Move on. But I like the movie a lot. I'm going to give it a 4. I look forward to a sequel. I do maintain that the best way to do a sequel is an entirely new crew that maybe sees the other crew in the background, or, you know, somehow maybe just they cameo. But I think the next step is you do an entirely new crew and an entirely new adventure, an entirely new storyteller, you know?
D&D is the way to do it. Yeah. You can bring in new classes. You could do a monk. Maybe keep the paladin in there.
Do the cartoon characters.
Well, I mean, I think you're
change it up.
I think you're smart if you start the sequel off where they're continuing the story of the original crew, and, like, whoever the master is goes, oh wait, their story's done. They lived happy ever after. Let's do a new one.
Yeah.
Kind of like
that would be cool.
How Tiny Tina's did it, you know? Like, if you inject that level of control that you see where the dungeon master has that level of control, and literally have them do an entire landscape, and then they go, no, we're actually here. And then they go, it's like on a volcano, and it's completely desolate. Like, you know, have them flip the environment 100%. Like, I think there's a lot of potential to go in several different ways for sequels.
What about like how the cartoon was, where it's all these people that were, like, getting ready to play the game, and then some kind of, like, time thing happened, and they got sucked into, like, that universe, and they become the characters, and that's what the game was.
See,
that's what the cartoon was.
I don't think you need that though in this, because you've already established the universe itself without establishing
Well, no,
out
you
of
got these. You got
yeah.
this whole group of people that don't know what the fuck they're doing again.
No, I know, but the problem is you haven't, and you didn't introduce in the first movie out of the game people at all. Like you referenced the Chris Pine as the player, but there wasn't ever a scene of like here's the human counterparts to these characters. So it's much less a board game and much more real. You know what I mean? Like just what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do. I mean, it's see that's the thing is though you can. It depends if you want to dig into already kind of laid territory or if you want to. You know, it's a new campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on what they can do with licensing too. Because if they can get some of the licensing on board for some of the cameo shit from other things, that'd be kind of neat as well. I don't know. I'm looking forward to another one. I don't want Chris Pine to be leading it, and I don't want Michelle Rodriguez in it either. Sorry, China.
Yeah, no, they need to go with a new cast. I'll go. This is a 4 as well for me. I did enjoy it. Chris Pine was the one who was off. I think they could have went with somebody else, who could do a better job in that comedy role.
I mean, do you want to? You have to go of a certain age because he's got a kid that's about 13.
Yeah. And I
You know.
understand why
Yeah.
they Chris Pine looked the way he did in here, but I felt he was too old for the way he was acting, for the way his behavior in the movie. It was too, and his serious parts were too serious for the character. Like, you lost your wife, you're trying to get your wife back, but his behavior didn't fit
He may
the
not be right.
the tragedy.
He may not be right. But what if Zach Braff?
Does he even act anymore?
I don't know. He might be dead. Well, no, if you're going, but I mean, with new characters, you can go younger with the characters themselves too. The next campaign isn't going to be
No,
about
I
a
couldn't
father
see
who
Zach
lost his
Braff.
wife.
I couldn't see Zach Braff doing that.
In Chris Pine's role, maybe Zach Braff during Scrubs, or maybe just after. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, Justin Long,
Okay.
he could fit in
I
there.
don't know.
I can see Zach Braff if
What about Joe
I can see
Magliolo?
actually both of them.
What about Shazam? What was his name?
Zachary Levi
God.
or Levy?
Zach.
But I can see them as long as you change up the class. Like, don't bring another Bard in.
Yeah.
Bring like a rogue in. You know what I mean?
Also,
like a funny rogue.
in the next one, bring up somebody who cheats.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that'd be
whether
nice.
it's just you see the consequence where they're like, why are they doing that to him? And it's like, oh, they cheated. And then everybody kind of looks at each other like, what? And then they continue on.
really
Like, just have
nice.
it kind of be like a Family Guy thing. Like, start introducing those ideas too. Like, because there's literally a whole game world to explore. So I think I'm hoping it made enough money. I mean, one of the things I always look for these movies that hit Peacock and shit is like, do they feel like a movie that should have released in theaters? And this one did. Like, there are movies that come out and you go, I don't know, like if that released in theaters, I would have been even more disappointed if I gone and seen it. Like, but like a movie like this looks like it is meant to be in theaters, and that's what I was saying earlier about
it didn't do well.
No.
150 million budget, 208 million gross worldwide.
Yeah, but those aren't with that's just theatrical. That doesn't include streaming rights and all that, so they may have made money somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Opening weekend
it's
was only
crazy.
37 million.
Now that you have to think about that now, like
Oh yeah,
streaming and
dude, the licensing
true.
deals are worth
VODs
more than the actual ticket
purchase.
sales.
yeah.
And then that
is
also,
true.
that also includes digital sales for people who are anti-streaming.
Yeah.
Physical sales for people who like physical media.
People who spent the $30 to watch it today.
Dude, I went to go fucking put in the Mario code and it kept telling me promotion not available yet. I want to fucking watch Mario. Lewis sent me the code to redeem it on the Voodoo and it's telling me promotion's not available yet. I gotta retry it. That's fucking annoying. God damn it. It's me. I'm pissed off.
What the Mario?
What the fuck?
For me,
Chris Pratt.
It's a 4 as well. I liked everything about it. I'm not as hard on Chris Pine as you guys are.
I know.
The only thing is that dude needs to fucking get some sleep at some point because he's always got bags under his eyes lately.
Hey man, they had to film at 4 in the morning.
They're pretty fucking thick, man.
Dude, the fucking scene where he's singing to distract the guards,
Oh yeah.
and then that creeped me the fuck out.
His eye starts bugging out, and it's like,
It
whoa!
starts moving like,
Dude, when he's like, "Bah," just starts melting into himself. I'm like, holy shit.
I
was
really
funny, though.
I really liked the kid who did play the
magician.
I was gonna say magician. The mage.
The mage.
I like how I even like the scene where they introduce him and he turns the building upside down from all the people he's grifting.
On
Yeah,
accident?
that was
Yeah, he
great.
reverses gravity. Yeah. No, I really liked him. I mean, I like the whole movie. Yeah, 4 for me, easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
4,
it's
4.
a solid 4, which is great. It's great that they finally released a movie based off of Dungeons and Dragons that actually looks good,
It
works.
isn't
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Has a budget,
Finally.
has a good look to it. It's clean. The cinematography's decent. Jeremy Irons isn't in it. All right. For sure, next episode is we might do something next week. I got to see what's going on. If not, 2 weeks from now, tentatively, John Wick 4 and what was the other one we were talking about? Oh, Renfield.
Renfield.
Yeah. So I that's now
I'm
available
excited for
on.
Renfield.
That's the cock as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
All right, guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Do give a like and subscribe to the YouTube if you have not already. We do appreciate it. We love to see your pretty smiling faces. Thank you everybody for hanging out. KG, Rusty, Fabian, Jen, of course. You guys are awesome. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and until then, I'll see you during the week. So will this other guy probably.
Yeah.
Bye.